Welcome back to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11, and you're watching our very special Eye on Dubai series coming to you straight from the heart of the city. In conversation now with Angana Maheshwari, founder of Veganologie.
Dubai, a city known for luxury, is now on a mission to accelerate sustainability in fashion. At the heart of this revolution is Veganologie, a brand that believes that fashion should be caring. Dubai is rewriting the fashion narrative with a relentless focus on sustainability. It's not just about glamour, it's about a greener future. Joining us today is Angana Maheshwari, founder of Veganologie, who's leading the way with every stitch and every design, thereby redefining the future of fashion.
Thank you, Angana, for being with us here today on Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Angana, as part of our Dubai, series that we are doing, I actually wanted to also focus on the entrepreneur landscape for women entrepreneurs here. So, tell me, what has your experience been like? How has Dubai's business landscape, treated women entrepreneurs? Taking cues from your personal journey, what can you tell us?
Well, starting a business here has been it's been a journey for sure. I must say the fact that Dubai is looking at, introducing more and more startups in various spaces is obviously a good sign and helpful because, of course, every country has its own way of setting up businesses. For example, in US and UK, it's pretty much an online system that you can just, apply. Here it's slightly different. But that being said, being a woman has been quite easy because they really want to support the women in working space here.
Sure.
So women from all backgrounds, not only locals, but foreigners, expats, Indians. And so it's been quite an exciting journey. There's been a lot of support, a lot of interest from the government. And I think that is something only that's going to grow even more and more.
Right.
Starting the business in January 2022 to seeing it now, things have changed in the landscape. And obviously with COP28 coming up in the country and other initiatives that are being held in the country for sustainability, I think this is a space that has been quite an interesting space to grow the business in.
Wonderful. Angana, just before the interview, you were telling me that you have been around the world. You have stayed at different places.
Yes.
So why Dubai?
Dubai, I think Dubai has its own niche and charm that I think a lot of countries nowadays are missing and losing. Having grown up in the UK, being born in India, living in Europe, and then studying in the US, I've seen that side of life. And I think now with the way development is happening over here, I don't think it's like any other landscape in US or UK or Europe. And while those countries are already booming, the point is because they boom so much, this is a space to grow.
Right.
And I think that's good for any young entrepreneur to start, rather than starting with like, oh my God, I've got so much competition. They're actually starting on like, okay, I'm starting something new.
Okay.
And growing it to then take it to a landscape which is probably already, busy and booming. You have something here which is new and welcoming. And so I think Dubai in that sense has been quite a great start for Veganologie and for me as an entrepreneur too.
Yeah, so absolutely picking up from what you said, tell us all about Veganologie. What was the idea behind it? I see some really beautiful bags here.
Yeah, thank you.
Take us through the entire process. What was your initial motivation?
So it came to me, actually I call Veganologie my COVID baby because I started working on it during COVID in lockdown. It was something as simple as me looking for a bag that's, good in price, good in quality, good in style, and something that I can use day to day. And it can last me a while, not necessarily something that I wanted to, last me forever, but something that can also kind of last for, a good amount of time. And
Sure.
I'm the kind of person who can be quite careless. So it has to be a really sturdy bag. And while looking online during, these times that we were at home, I realized that there's actually nothing like that I'm looking for. There's
Right.
no, either the design-wise, style-wise, quality, price, which is a big one also.
Yeah.
It was kind of missing in the market, and especially here in Dubai at the time, because all these brands were sitting in the US or Canada or UK, and no one was shipping on this side of the world. And
Sure.
so I realized a few things that, A, this space is important. We all look for bags. We don't necessarily, need so many bags in our life, but what we buy, we should enjoy for a good amount of time. And secondly, if we're living in the Middle East or in any other part of the world, we should be able to access these bags easily, especially when everything is through e-commerce or shipping. And I think that was a bigger trigger that I realized that, I should be able to access what I want in the US if I'm willing to pay for it.
Sure.
Of course, if I'm not willing to pay for it, I would go for the brands that are available locally, which is also something that I realized that does not exist here.
Yeah.
So I basically set my journey to start, research, see my competitors in this landscape, in the other parts of the world, and realize that there's a big, space to grow. And so now we proudly call ourselves, the first 100% sustainable brand in the UAE for accessories.
Yeah.
And we're also the first brand in the UAE and GCC to introduce something like card holders, unisex card holders with apple leather, which is a very unique material. So, taking these strides and taking sustainable innovation to new heights is something that we are also very proud of. And, hoping to see where all this can take us to in the future.
Sure. Speaking about sustainability, are you happy with the way the fashion industry is taking to sustainability, or do you think we have a long way to go?
I think we have a long way to go. Not only here, but in the whole world, we have a long way to go. Fashion is the largest contributor to waste and into landfills on the planet. And that's not something to be proud of, to be very honest. And brands that, fast fashion brands don't help in all this. Price-wise, everyone gets very enamored that, it's only this much, so I can wear it once and then throw it away. But that's not the point. The point is, to have something that's good, lasts you for a while. And of course, at the end of the day, what we're also trying to make is an affordable item so that people can have access to sustainability much easier than what people think of it.
Sure.
As we were discussing, sustainability can be seen as a luxury item,
Absolutely.
but it doesn't necessarily need to be if it's all done the right way. So that's a challenge that we face as a business, to make sure that people get bags that are at a good price, and of course to make sure that the quality that they get lasts them for a very long time. Making bags from non-genuine leather, materials is hard. It's a challenge in itself. And that can also limit us on where we can go manufacture and make, the design we do. These are the kind of challenges we face on a day-to-day. But at the end of the day, when you see the customer happy and really enjoying the bag, it's well worth it.
Right. So just again picking up from what you said, then how do you balance affordability and sustainability in that sense? Because like you said, when we talk about sustainable fashion, we often think of the highly affluent people who will sort of buy into it. So that kind of becomes a limitation. So then how do you balance both?
That's something that actually we have to sit and discuss as a team. We have to see for sure we don't want to cut any corners anywhere. So for example, all our materials are GRS certified. Which is technically we are paying more for a higher cost for those materials because you're paying for a certification along with it.
Right.
If I just went for a classic PVC bag, there's nothing to it and you don't know what sustainability is in it, and actually you're probably getting something that's not really sustainable in any case. What we do is get materials that are basically coming from plastic bottles. So we're actively also removing waste from the landfills and making it into bags. And that's why we proudly say, your bag is made from 11 recycled plastic bottles, the wallet is from 4, the card holder is from 2. But it's kind of a juggle to keep the price a good point, because obviously each bag has its own way of being made. So we've got a lot of things to take into consideration, but at the end of the day, we do our best to make sure that what we give is worth much more than what it's, we're selling it for.
Right. So from what I understand, your brand is largely, it is an e-commerce brand, right?
Yes.
So do you have plans to go offline as well, or is online the space that you're betting on in the years to come?
See, online is good because you can access the entire world. So anyone around the world is interested in buying from you, they can buy, and we ship globally anywhere. Offline, of course, a lot of feedback has been we want to see the bag in person, where can we see it?
Yeah.
So we have started getting into small concept stores to showcase the bags. Of course, it's a dream to get your own brick and mortar, but those, costs are much, much higher. So I think further down the line, it will be something we would consider. And also once we've maybe grown our SKUs more and maybe, like we said, just, expand into other categories, it'd be a good idea. But for now, I think online to access the rest of the world is very important for us.
Nice. Throughout this series, we've also been, exploring possible synergies and collaborations between the UAE and India as well.
Right.
So are there any plans to expand your brand to India?
Of course. I think India is the largest, market that is highly key on all this. Not only because they want to have, the vegan bags and, but I think culturally too, we have a lot of people in India, like Jains, who want to buy non-genuine leather, products. And I think that's something that we would love to cater to and give to them. Because, just because whether it's a cultural thing, whether it's a religious matter, whether it's by choice, whatever it is, you should have the option open. And that's why we made it an online business, because we want to make it easily accessible for people all over the world to access these products, because it's a choice. At the end of the day, our goal is to also make it a sustainable movement.
Sure.
You should be able to be proud of what you buy, be proud of what you carry. And if you're not, then don't buy it. Simple. We don't need to spend money over here for things just for the sake of it. We want to be mindful of what we buy and use, and hope to use it for a very long time. And this also not only impacts us as humans, but also the people who are making your bag. The one thing that people forget is who's made my product.
Well, wonderful. It was lovely chatting with you, Angana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.